Okay. All right. I am trying to figure this stuff out, and it's kind of tricky. I think you could put a green screen to this, and I'm trying to figure out where it's at. It seems like they've upgraded their system, and I'm trying to figure it out. And there we go. Wait, they're doing something here, so just give me a second, you guys. Okay, of course you got the date. They're doing all this stuff. Got your tags, which I've already done. Okay, let me just do this thing here. All right. Hello, hello, hello. I don't want to be on here too quick. Me and Demetra were strategizing and checking some stuff out. Donovan, Saadiq, the Inland Empire Informer, nationally known as the Recovering Democrat. I think YouTube has upgraded and done some stuff here, and I'm trying to figure it out the best way I can. And anyway, we had a great conversation today in regards to, of course, Jasmine Crockett and the foolishness that she is doing and the Democratic Party. Al Green, Congressman Al Green, went on the Breakfast Club, and he basically admitted that the Democratic Party did not keep their promises to Black people that voted for them overwhelmingly to put Joe Biden in the White House. See, and the funny thing is, us in the new Black media, we've been saying all this, and they've been calling us liars and all kinds of craziness, like, you know, like we're just some crazy people. And come to find out, no, we weren't. And what it is these people are trying to have a come to Jesus moment with you guys, hoping that would make a difference in how you guys view them, because they've been taking L's left and right. And I am very hopeful that you guys won't fall for that. You know, if possible, that you guys don't fall for that, because the midterms are coming up, and the midterms are very important. And why are the midterms important is because the Democrats right now, like most politicians, if you're a Republican or a Democrat, they want absolute power no matter how many lies they have to tell. They're willing to do everything but give Black people reparations and cash money payments. So my your Astrological Thinker is here. Hey sis, how you doing? I'm going to ask little man, how's his language is coming? How's he coming? How's he coming? Keep him on it. Trust me, he doesn't understand now, but he will when he gets older. Trust me. So it goes to show you the desperation of politics and having power at whatever costs. They are willing to do whatever they need to do, except give Black people reparations. Screen says they got money for everything but reparations. Yeah, he does. He's doing great. Thanks, Donovan. Yeah, stay on him about that. Stay on him. It's going to pay off. Yeah. Hey, Tip, I'm not going to be on long. Me and Demetra and I were, or should I be like Jasmine Crockett? You know, Demetra and I, you know what I'm saying? We were up there, jabbing it up. Now, look, I've been to private school all my life. That I wasn't even comfortable doing that. And you can tell it's very unnatural for me to do that. So I don't know what Jasmine Crockett is trying to do, but she's looking like a damn fool. But just real quick, politics is about money and power, nothing more. And we've been pointing this stuff out, and they are willing to lie, steal, cheat. And from what I understand, another assassination attempt happened this morning where they shot somebody at the White House grounds. Now, I don't know what's going on, but this is his third or fourth public attempt on Trump's life. Would it be above mentioning that the Democrats are willing to, and in the political sphere, we've seen movies, these movie noirs and stuff, where it's not above political power to assassinate a world leader. I mean, I just think this isn't coincidence. This stuff isn't coincidence. They want Trump out of there so badly, they are willing to keep trying and attempting to get rid of this man. Your Logical Thinker says, have you noticed Jasmine Crockett playing on blacks with the black scent, depending on where she is and who she's addressing, just as bad as Kamala? Yeah. Did you notice that? I've noticed it. I mean, and it's so sad. And the sad thing is the people that allow it. The people that allow it. See, this is another reason why Kamala lost, is because people could pick up if you're genuine or not. I know I'm graying really bad, you guys. I know I'm graying really bad now. But anyway, people understand when you're a genuine person. Like I would say, like on Demetra K's show, Demetra is who she is, and I am who I am. And we don't sit there and be like, well, in today's news, it's going to be like this and this and that. And, we're not going to be who we're not. I am who I am. And, that's how I'm going to be. That's just how I'm going to be, no matter what happens. Do I got some people that hate me? I got a lot of people that hate me, especially in my local community. But the thing is, they could never say Donovan isn't who he is. The same Donovan you see on here is the same Donovan you're going to see out in the public. So, oh, and by the way, it's Girl Scout season. So they're out there selling those cookies. If you guys could please buy some cookies from the Girl Scouts and help them out there. A friend of mine, he was in front of Walmart with his daughter. He's an engineer, and this guy makes some good money, right? Younger guy, but dads rock. He was out there. He took time off work with his coworker. His coworker daughter's also in the Girl Scouts, and they were in front of the Walmart selling cookies with his daughters. Priceless. Now, your average logical thinker, do you see the difference? Boys take care of mom. Girls take care of dad. That are in their lives a lot of times. So it's just the way it is. I have sons, so I'm out here by myself. But I do want to bring this up. I saw the other day, and Demetra brought it up, where this woman who's a veteran, she's screaming about, how the VA services are going to get cut back and all this other stuff, right? Now, you're a logical thinker. I want you to think about this real quick and tell me if I'm wrong. Should you just please correct me? I hate these people that spread fear. Yeah, I know I should have had a girl. It's still not too late. I can still do it. I mean, I can still have one. I just be, by the time she's in high school, I'd probably be in my 70s or something like, I don't know. But yeah, I wouldn't mind. I mean, I got nothing else to do. But I just can't stand these people that keep spreading this fear and misinformation. Yes, a lot of VA employees are facing job loss, right? And she's saying, "Oh my God, because he's cutting all the employees. There's going to be long lines, and vets are going to die, and people are going to happen, and they can't get services." This is what I mean about knowing what you're talking about. Didn't Donald Trump in his first term authorize the VA that if you are waiting a certain amount of time to get services that you can outsource? How come that lady did not bring that up in her video? Those of us that are in the VA, we know you can outsource. If you need to go to a private doctor, you have authorization to do that. You just say, hey, I'm not waiting 90 days for an appointment. I need something in a week. And they will authorize that. But this is what they do. They are damn sure determined to get back in power to do what? To do what? Nothing. They had all the power the first 2 years of the Biden administration, and they did nothing. Then they get out of power. They blame everybody else for what they can't do. But yet somehow you can funnel $2 billion to Stacey Abrams. You could give unlimited federal dollars to Ukraine and to the illegal migrants. But now you're out of power and all it's gloom and doom and oh my God, people are going to die and all this stuff. Are people going to suffer? Yes. Oh, we're going to shut the government down. You can shut the government down. Veterans are still going to get their paychecks. Retirees are still going to get their paychecks. Social Security is still going to go on. So you have like, yep, I use community care if I don't want to wait facts, sir. So that's what I'm saying. Why didn't she put that in her video? All because of Donald Trump. He said, hey, it's a disgrace that veterans have to use. Now, I know there are some people out there that say outsourcing isn't a good thing. And I do agree with that. Outsourcing for the military is not a good thing. I should not be in Diego Garcia and go to the base gym and I got a bunch of Filipinos in there passing out towels and basketballs and stuff when there should be a services squadron of military people to do all of that. So yes, outsourcing the military is not a good thing. But in the VA, you do not have to wait 90 days just to see a VA doctor. If you need services now, you can get authorized to go outside and get help. Daryl Jink says, the Democrats learned their lesson. The next time they get in, they will give the migrant status. Mark my words, new voter base. Yeah, exactly. And Daryl, and that's exactly why they probably are not going to win the next couple of election cycles. They're just not going to win because people are going to give it to them and they're going to give it to them hard. No Vaseline, if you know what I mean. So, you know, I just wanted to, you know, just bring that stuff up because it just chaps my hide that, you know, they keep doing these things. And it's like, if they want to win, if they truly want to get back into power, all they have to do is cut that damn check. It's that simple. You will have Black people voting for you. Wouldn't need a second voter base. You would have Black people voting for you for the next 100 years at least, but they don't want to cut that check. It's very, very crazy. So there is something about this thing where I am trying to figure it out. I know it upgraded and I'm trying to get the green screen into it where I can use the green screen. It's here somewhere. I might have to ask Miss Sweet Talks because she was on it earlier today and she was doing it. Maybe it's on your phone. Maybe it's just on your phone. It's not on your computer. So maybe I got to do it that way. I'm not exactly sure. But again, you guys, the midterms are coming up. Midterms are very important. Keep your foot on their necks. We have to stay united until we get what it is we need, what is owed to us. Also, please stay out of this immigrant stuff. Like I said, I live in basically Mexico. Your average logical thinker, she's from San Diego. You know, it is what it is. But when I see my neighbors, you know, doing this and doing that, or sometimes I'll be walking the dog and I'll see the police stopping what looks like Latino, Hispanic person, I don't even get involved. I don't even stop to record. I don't do anything. Because if the situation was reversed and they were, if they were getting rid of Black people and deporting Black people, do you think these Hispanics would speak up for us? I don't think so. I don't think at all. Your Avological Thinker says, in YouTube, not another streaming platform like StreamYard? Yeah, I'm not sure. I think the YouTube Live, it's supposed to upgrade. So I know she had a green screen on her phone when she was doing it from her phone. So I wanted to see if it worked on here, and I can't seem to find it on anything here. TIFF facts, yep. Peace and love, fam. Facts, not feelings. Hey, Donovan, how you doing? Black people need to focus on ourselves. Yes, and and I'm so proud that the majority of us are focusing on ourselves. But do you know what's really crazy? You see more Black women with the bleeding hearts for these other groups. Why is it always our women that are caping for these other groups that are to the detriment of us? I just don't understand it. Sisters, you guys have got to just mind your business. Just mind your business, please. Okay, yeah, maybe because you are in landscape mode, next time try it with vertical. Okay, I got to see what that, like I'm on my desktop, so maybe I just don't know how to do it, but I'll figure it out sooner or later down the road. But again, it's Sunday. Wanted to, give you guys a shout out. Benny is out there barking at somebody, and he's getting better. Trust me. Oh my God, this dog. He's getting better. He's getting better. I taught him how to shake, so he knows how to give me his paw, and he'll shake with his paw. But he chews up everything. He is a pit bull, but he's not that muscular pit bull. He's that I think it's the Stafford type, where they're like kind of skinny and he's a good dog. He's a good dog. He's coming along, so we'll see how it goes. But you guys, keep the faith. I know some people are going to be struggling. Some people might be facing losing their jobs, but that's not the end of the world. This has happened in the 90s. It's happened in the 60s. It's constantly happening, downsizing, and it's just a new way of doing business. Maybe this is our wake up to do for ourselves. Maybe this is a wake up for you to open that business that you wanted to open up. Let's turn lemons into lemonade. Why does it always have to be doom and gloom? Why is it that our existence always has to be dependent on what the white man's going to do? Why is that? It seems to me Hispanics keep crying for us to help them. Asians are crying for us to help. Asians are kind of smart. They're like, well, we're going to acknowledge that if it wasn't for Black people, we wouldn't be where we're at, and blah, 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 blah. The Asians are getting ahead of it. You know what I mean? So again, it seems to me we're the glue that keep all this stuff going, so we just have to mean what we say and say what we mean, and we want our reparations, and we want nothing else. It's obvious they are listening. They are listening to us, but they do not want to solve the problem. Multifaceted Media says, good evening. Hi, how you doing? Black women cape for other groups because that's a way to get proximity to other men that can give good hair, light skin, and light eyes to the offspring. Yeah, that's one of the reasons. I'm sure there's many reasons that they do that. And it's always been that way, because why is it that in the Black community in America, only in America, the Black community, the matriarchy is strong? And that's done by design. Because if you go to Africa, patriarchy is very strong. They ain't taking no shit. You go anywhere outside of the United States, the patriarchy is strong. In the Latin community here in the United States, the patriarchy is strong. The white man, the patriarchy is strong. Only in the Black community is the matriarchy a thing. And that's because we have a 70% rate of single motherhood. And that's by design. Like I said, I'm not making excuses, It's by design. And sad thing is, women have to do what they have to do. Let's just admit that. When a woman puts herself in a situation to where, I don't know why you wouldn't want to marry a man that you have a child with, but if you don't, and nobody said you have to do, but if you don't marry the guy, then women have to do what they got to do. And hey, cooking with Miss D and what comes with it, and it's unfortunate. So I'm going to give that it's needed attention, because as men we can't escape that. We are a lot of men have ran from their responsibilities. Yeah, you're having fun. A girl got a big booty and a smile, and it's great until the baby comes. Have you guys ever noticed people could be together for 5 and 7 years, high school sweethearts, and then the minute the baby comes, they might get married, and then 2 years to 3 years, they're divorced and they hate each other. Or they work with each other for the kids, but they don't want to be together after 2 or 3 years. It's just when that kid comes. And I think it's because of the struggle and the cost of having children. And it's sad. And it's sad that the younger generations have to deal with the cost of things that previous generations didn't have to do. Back in my parents' day in California, to get a house was no more than $30,000, maybe $40,000 here in California. Now, what's the median income of a house in California? $800,000. And guess what the Hispanics and the Asians are doing? They're joining the Air Force Reserves and in the Army Guard and whatever, being a part-time warrior, doing their 4 or 6 years of time. But in that time that they're doing it, they got government backing them for a house that they want to get with their young 22-year-old wife. You look at the black kids, they ain't doing that. I ain't joining no white man's military. Okay, well, continue to live in that box on the sidewalk. I was talking to a young lady, and she was telling me, she works for the county. She was telling me that she's saving up for a down payment for a house and stuff like that. And I said, well, you got to think about it. You got the down payment, you got the closing costs, you got the insurance that you got to have, and so on and so on and so on, all this other stuff. And of course, you're getting a new house. You're going to want furniture, right? Of course, you want new furniture. You don't want to bring in your junk furniture, right? And I was like, how are you going to pay for all that? And she was like, oh, well, I'm just going to save up. I said, so you're going to wait 10 to 15 years to save up all of that money while you're living in an apartment with your 2 children, and rent goes up every year to where you're going to be priced out. How can you save, living in California, how can you save that type of money to meet all those costs? She's determined that she's going to do it. This woman is about 28 years old. I said, you could get into the reserves, just, get a really simple job or whatever. The funny thing is, everybody thinks that when you're in the military, everybody goes to the front lines. And that's just not true. That's not true. It depends on what your job is. The Navy is a support organization. The Air Force is a support organization. Space Force is a support organization. So if you're not in the Marine Corps and the Army, and I don't care what your job is in those 2 jobs, you are a killer first if you join those organizations. My mom was a paymaster, and she had to go into Iraq, and she's a reservist at the time. She went into Iraq strapped. She had to go in and, distribute the money in the field, and she had to go in strapped. Now, here's my mom. I think my mom at that time would have been about like 50 years old or something, in her 50s or something. And she's in Iraq on, Black Hawks, going where she needed to go, and she had to be strapped. That was her first job. She's a soldier first. But your average logical thinker could tell you, it's very rare they're going to throw a gun in your hand and say, here, go out and, do all this. Me being in the, as a mechanic, even when I was a mechanic, I didn't pick up a gun at all. My job was to fix those airplanes and do all this stuff, all that great stuff. Hey, Valerie, she says, FBA has fought in every war in the country with bad results. So military is not for everyone. No, I'm not saying it's not for everyone. But what I'm saying is the reality of home ownership in California, it ain't going to happen. It's just not going to happen. It's not going to happen. $800,000 homes. And the home isn't like the homes you guys get back in Atlanta or back east. Your average logical thinker, she's from San Diego. I can't go down to San Diego and afford to live down there. I can't go to San Diego. I'm telling you, California, if you want to be, and you're an average person, and you want a house, you are not going to be able to get into a house like that based on a regular job. This is the reality that we got to really understand that. And what I'm saying is this. I didn't want to be in the military either. Then I got caught up in Desert Storm and all this other crap that started happening. I went in for the educational benefits like everybody else usually does, right? But I got caught up. No problem. What I'm saying is it's an ends to a means. I'm seeing a bunch of Hispanics buying homes and Asians using their VA benefits, buying homes. You have to stay in the home for a year, according to the VA. They stay a year, then they move and get another home using the equity from the first home. They go get another home, then they rent out the first home and they become landlords. That's what they're doing. I'm not saying the military is for everybody, but damn, if you're sitting in the hood just slanging drugs and, risking your life and, you're gun toting and whatever else goes on in the hood, I've never heard of a gang, the Crips or the Bloods, giving disability benefits, health benefits, housing benefits. I mean, you're pretty much doing the same thing. You're risking your life just trying to survive. Why not risk your life and ends to a means? You know what I mean? That's all I'm saying. I'm not saying go. If you don't want to go, I'm not telling you to go, but less money to put down, zero closing costs, all that's done. All you got to do is start making the payments and, and have the insurance. I mean, how bad do you want to put your kids in a house? That's what I'm saying. When I see women willing to sell coochie or go work in a strip club while they're working for the county in the court, but they're strippers at night. I mean, if you're willing to do that, what's, 4 years in the, in the reserves, getting some skills, getting some benefits, getting some, connections. Well, what's wrong with that? Tiff says there's very little hard hand-to-hand combat nowadays. Send your kids to the military for the benefits. And to me, if you know little Ray ain't acting right, whatever, what's he got to lose by going into the military? Why keep him in the neighborhood where he's just going to get a felony and make his life harder and harder? You know what I mean? But then again, you send him to the military and he's not used to following orders. Getting kicked out of the military is worse than getting a felony. Okay, I'm going to tell you guys that because companies are incentivized to hire felons. You got a dishonorable discharge, that's rough. And that follows you for the rest of your life. Your average thinker, I only strapped up twice, once on deployment when I was forward deployed to Iraq and once in Germany when a foreigner unalived 2 soldiers at the airport. Other than that, it was Gucci, a medical world, right? I mean, we're in the military, right? Your astrological thinker, we're in the Air Force. We do have to be familiar with weapons. So yeah, you might, I flew airplanes, but I was always strapped. Thank God I never had to use it. Thank God, if I got shot down, we had the M16s in the back, that we needed and stuff, but thank God. So Michael Pan says, why not send him to vocational school for free? Michael, what do you think is the biggest vocational school in the world? The military. The military is the biggest vocational school in the world. And most employers know if you've graduated and have a skill from the military, you know what you're doing and you are certified in doing that job. It would be very easy for you to get certification. I had a buddy who told his son right here at March to go, son wanted to be a firefighter, had his son go join the Air National Guard and they trained him to be a firefighter. He got all the training and stuff, whatever, by federal standards, whatever that is, kind of like being a pilot in the Air Force. Our training is usually based under federal regulations. So he goes to firefighting school, right? And this guy was like 19 years old when he went. Comes out of the Air National Guard. I mean, he's still an Air National Guard member, but his active duty training is over. He's certified. He just starts doing his 1 week in a month, whatever, 2 weeks a year. In that time, he signs up for the city, the county, and the federal fire department thing, whatever the application is. This dude ends up getting picked up by the city of Riverside as a firefighter at 22 years old. So he had to wait 2 years. And in the meantime, he went to the college for the GI Bill and he was just, biding his time. Got picked up. Oh my God, making great money. Great money. Now how old is he now? He's got to be he's a little older than my son. So I would say he's at least 33, 34 now. Big money, big money. but he had the skills from the military. That's all I'm saying. It's not for everybody, but if you get a dishonorable discharge in the military, that follows you for the rest of your life, man. That's very hard to get that overturned. Very hard. Michelle says, good evening, everyone. My husband went to the military when he was 19. It was his way out of the projects. Yeah, he served 21 years active duty in the Army. We thoroughly enjoyed our time in the military. Yeah, and most of us being Black, that is most likely our only way out, or to see a different environment. You know, well, what kills me is you'll have a guy that spent all his time in the military. Let's say he does a 4-year bid to get out of the neighborhood. Then he doesn't want to be in the military anymore. Then he goes back to the same environment. He wants to go live with mom. And then, you know, I'm not saying he doesn't do well. A lot of guys do. They use the GI Bill and they go on and do their thing. But they go back to the same environment. I used to tell my troops when I would ask them what their plans were, and they would say, oh, yeah, I'm going to go back to my hometown. And I would tell them, why are you going back to your hometown? Oh, well, you know, my mom and, you know, my family and stuff like that. I said, well, let me just give you a little bit of advice. Why not go to the town away from where you're from? Because sometimes when you go back into that environment, old Neckbone, the drug dealer, he's probably still there and he wants you to do some work for him and stuff. You know, you kind of fall back into those old traits. That's all I would always tell them. You know, go home, but don't go home. You know, go outside and be to yourself, you know. So Sunlight says, so that's exactly why Ray is not going in the military. Yeah, exactly. Michael Pan says, what I mean is vocational school for free without joining the military, because other countries offer free vocational training before students graduate from high school. Yeah, that would be nice, but unfortunately, they took vocational right out of high school, and that was a big mistake. And look at where we're at today. And another reason, Michael, I think why they don't want vocational in high schools anymore is because that is a way for a Black person to open a business and to feed his family and to uplift his community. So if you take vocational training away out of high school, I have no way to fix Miss Smith's car down the street for $50, you know, she gave me $50 and a lunch, and help her out and things like that. Thus, you see the decay of our community. We can't repair anything. We have to get Jorge, you know, who's here illegally, to go do these things, and that money goes to another community. I see a bunch of young teenage men, or young men, with their mothers, and they've been sissified. They could, you know, I mean, I think I was on a channel the other day and I had mentioned that, where I think it was last week, and the lady, she was going ape shit because nobody was helping her change her tire on her car in front of Winco, and she had the boy had to be at least 14 or 15, or I'm sorry, 15 or 16. He was a big kid, bigger than me, and I'm a grown man, and he didn't know how to change the tire. Do you see what I'm saying? So it's really bad. You're a logical thinker. I tried to find a free vocational school for my brother in the Sacramento area, and the only ones were for troubled teens or those with records. Other than that, you have to take out loans. Yeah. They do not want to give Black people the opportunity, not the opportunity, or I mean, think about it. If you're really a good mechanic, and or you're a good carpenter, or you got those skills that you learned in high school, you're going to go open a business. You're going to go and, do those things. They don't want that. That's just another way to keep us underneath. Michael Pan says, oh, you're talking a thing. Your Avological Thinker says, we're talking about Black Americans, Michael. Yeah, your Avological Thinker, hi, how are you doing? Yep. Sunlight, that's exactly right, Donovan. They would rather make sure Black males are economically deprived. And, and this is all by design. And guess who's leading that charge? The Democratic Party. I was arguing the other day with a person, and I argue with people now. They're worried about how the system is. Why? Think about this, you guys. Why would you fight for the status quo, right? If you hate Trump, well, we got to get back to the status quo. Negro, don't you realize the status quo keeps you at the bottom? You, the Black guy, you. This status quo in America keeps Black people at the bottom. So why would you fight for the status quo? I'm here to overturn the system by letting you know what's going on. I want to overturn the system because my people are at the bottom. That's what I'm trying to do. I'm trying to overturn the system. But you got Negroes running around here talking about, we got to get back to the status quo. We got to get back Negro, this system keeps you at the bottom. You're a logical thinker, Joe Tucker Michael. You guys are going. Great. So always remember that, guys. When you guys are talking to these Democratic lost Black people, just tell them, you know, this system is designed to keep you at the bottom. It's not even designed, it's designed to do that. And we are at the bottom. That is why I don't understand why Black people are panicking. And I've seen that it's more Black people who are individualistically have an interest in the Democrats being in power because they're worried about what they're going to lose under Trump or somebody else. But why would anybody as a Black person want to keep a system that keeps us at the bottom? We have nothing to lose here. Remember I told you guys on the Dimitri K show, it doesn't matter if a strongman comes into power, a dictator, a revolution happens, whatever. We're at the bottom. We're at the bottom. It can only get better for us. A good example, Cuba. Look at the 80% of Cubans that look like me. Under Fidel Castro, their lives got better. And you got these salty ass white Cubans that keep talking about how unfair it is and they got kicked out of their land and their stuff was taken from them, whatever. Well, in a democracy, the majority rules, right? That's what I was told. Why is it in this country, especially in the Democratic Party, they cater to the minority? There is not enough LGBTQ, gay, whatever people to elect a president. There's not enough of them. There's not enough Asians yet to elect a president. But there are enough Black people to elect a president. So we got to keep our foot on their necks. Yeah. Allie Davis, they do that. You guys hear Benny? Benny! He's probably cornered my cat, and I got to go get up and deal with him. He wants to do what he wants to do. You know, he reminds me of a lot of women I used to date. They just want to do what they want to do. They don't want to listen to what I had to say. No, I'm joking. It's more like men. You guys do know women created the GPS system, right? You guys know that, right? It was a woman that created GPS. So when you got GPS in your car and stuff, that was invented by a woman. Because you ever remember back in the day, maybe some of you ladies experienced it, your man's driving and you'll say, oh no, make a left here. And he's like, no, I know what I'm doing. And you'd be all lost all damn day. You guys remember that? So women got tired of us not listening to the directions you guys are giving us, and they created GPS. True story. Women are the founders of GPS because they got tired of telling men how not to get lost. There's something in us. I don't know what it is as a man. We just think we know what we're doing. And we sometimes we don't. We just don't, fellas. We don't. Sunlight says, I've been wanting to go to Cuba. I heard America doesn't allow us to visit there as a tourist. Is that true? No, you can go to Cuba, but there's a certain visa you have to go there under. It's like, I think the visa is if you're going there to learn something. Like you just can't go there for leisure or nothing like that. But the thing is, you have to go through, there's a connecting flight to get there. You're not going to get a direct flight into Cuba directly, if I'm correct. I could be wrong on that. But I know some of my friends that have been there. Well, if you're military, Sunlight, you could always go to Guantanamo Bay. I've been there several times. But civilian-wise, you can go, there's a flight, like you'll go through Mexico, from Mexico into Cuba, something like that. There's like a connecting flight you go through. But you have to go there like under some kind of learning visa, like you're there to learn the culture or something like that. And then they don't want you can't spend money that helps the government there. So like certain places like restaurants and stuff that you go to, it's really crazy if you ever get a chance to go there. But you can go there. It's just there's a lot of restrictions to it. Michael Pan says, Donovan, Cuba offers free public higher education and vocational training. America can benefit to learn from Cuba. Yes, but guess what? We're America. We don't learn from nobody. Sunlight says, I've been wanting to, okay, yeah, I got that one. Darius Harris says, greetings and blessings, bro Donovan, Saadiq, and the chat room family. Bro Saadiq, may you forever encourage to unapologetically and consistently stand 10 toes down as a rare, righteous, and honorable brother. Yes, I try to. Please, please, please. Sometimes I do fall short, but I just try to say it the way it is, and at least the way I think it is. But I got Sunlight, who always terrorizes me and makes me bow down to keep me in line. And I've been doing good for a couple of weeks now, but I think I'm starting to itch. I got to act up. So be ready. Don P says, there is only one way to overturn this system. If my people who are called by my name would wake up, repent, turn from their wicked ways, humble themselves, and pray, then I will hear them from heaven. Exactly. Only God's going to solve all these problems. Only God's going to solve these problems. Michael says, Donovan, did you receive my email because of the reparations perspective? Talked about getting reparations. Yes, I did. I get all your stuff, and I've got a little folder for all your emails. And what I do is sometimes I'll like print certain things out if I'm going to meet with my council member or assembly member, and I kind of bring those and I use that as points to make myself sound better, I guess, or whatever it is. And JJ says, hey, everyone. And Michael says, Sunlight Cuba provides free healthcare, etc. Yeah. And see, Michael, you got to think about it. Cuba did that, right? And it bettered the lives of the 80% of the Afro-Cubans. Free healthcare, they're living longer, they're living well. Education, they're educated. They've got opportunities. He gave them land. They can feed themselves and do all of these things. Why do you think we don't have healthcare in the United States? Universal healthcare. Why do you think we don't have it? Because Black people would benefit from it. These devils would rather see us just die raggedy than to let us, benefit from having good health, good eating habits, and things like that. If you want good health care in the United States, you're going to have to pay for it. And guess who owns all the wealth in this country? Mostly them. Well, Asians, but mostly them. Asians are considered white adjacent now, I guess. So, yeah. But yeah, you guys, I just wanted to try this out. I'm going to go get this dog because I think the dog is probably going ape shit in my backyard and digging up all kinds of stuff. Wait, come here. Here he is. Come here. What are you doing? What are you doing? What are you doing? You eating the cat food? Are you eating the cat food? Look over there. Beanie, look over there. You see it? See it? Good boy. Yeah. I'm going to have to deal with him. But you guys, have a great Sunday night. Dimitri K might come on tomorrow. Also, don't forget to check us out on Tuesday. If anything comes up, we will be checking it out. If you guys been following that Dalton thing, did you guys see that one chick that crashed out on everybody? She's like a Tiffany Henyard 2.0. Yeah, don't shame the dog. Yeah, I know. He's a good dog, but man, these pit bulls. I mean, pit bulls are great dogs. Little Rascals, Petey, the pit bull. That was a pit bull. He's just, this dog here, he is determined to do what he wants to do. And I don't want to abuse my dog because I'm too old to do that now. But I don't like to use the stick and the whip. I don't like to use any of that stuff. But you guys be safe this week. Again, only God's going to solve these problems. If you're a praying person, pray up. But guess what? Everything's going to be okay. Everything's going to be okay. So, all right, you guys. We will talk to you guys later. I'm going to figure this thing out with the green screen because if they've upgraded it like that, that's a plus. Love it. All right, you guys. Be blessed. Let's talk to you guys mañana. Work on your Spanish because that is going to be the dominant language in the United States. Even though Donald Trump just signed an executive order that says English is the language of the United States. That's going to be overturned by the Supreme Court because there is no official language of the United States. But he tried. See you guys later.